Hello folks, welcome back. It's the third week of April. Here in southern Ohio, we're just starting to come into our flow. Dandelions are blooming, apple trees are starting to bloom. Here in another probably week or 10 days, some of the early locusts and some of the early honeysuckles are going to start blooming. So we're just starting to come into our nectar flow. A lot of pollen's coming in. The hives are doing just fantastic this year. I've got one hive that I overwintered with a summer of 19 queen in. I have not inspected yet. They overwintered in a deep 10 frame with a 10 frame super on top. A couple times over the winter, I kind of split the boxes, look at the cluster. They did really good. They had plenty of honey. They had good pollen stores all winter. So they came out pretty strong this spring. I haven't been in to inspect them. I'm a little worried it's this late and I haven't been in there. I'm sure they're starting some swarm preparations. So we need to get in there, take a look, and see what's going on. I want to get the queen into the bottom box, get a queen excluder on, get another box on there, and we might have to pull a split out of there at the same time to kind of pull back some of the strength that they've built up. So let's go up here and get our veil and gloves on and get in there and see what's going on. Okay, this hive has got a spring, early summer of 19 queen. Marked laying queen was on 623. I can see that on 526 there was a capped queen cell. So you see kind of how I keep a lot of notes here on the lid. I did a couple, pop the lid, take a quick look at them over the winter, the spring. I have not been down in this box. I kind of neglected these girls. I need to get in here because it was a booming hive all winter. I need to see what's going on. So let's get in here and see what's going on. This one I forgot to put an inner cover on when I pulled the insulation off this spring. So we'll have to go get an inner cover and put on it. Just makes pulling it apart easier. So as you can see right off the bat, we've got a healthy population. Girls seem calm. They were calm last year. I want to see, maybe I need probably make sure I got the smoker going here just in case. Always wear a veil and always have a smoker lit. You just never know the mood of the bees. And again, I have not been in this box other than taking a peek. I mean, I cracked the two open a couple times between them. There hasn't been a frame pulled on this thing this year. This outer frame is extra thick. See if we can get it out without rolling too many bees. This does not have a queen excluder. I mean, other than pulling insulation off, this is exactly how I overwintered them. Yeah, they got a lot of nectar already. They will get another box. Let's put this, clean this up out front here. When I'm done with this inspection, they will get, if I find a queen, they'll get a queen excluder and another box immediately. This is April 18th. Yeah, they're filling in already where they had, they're already filling in where they used honey over the winter, where they had emptied out some of the cells. These girls actually did really well all winter. They had a good population, but they really didn't use near as much honey as I expected them to. there's my queen. Boy, that was easy. Queen's up here in the top box. Marked queen. I'm hoping I'm getting her on the camera here. I'm not sure where the camera's pointed. So what I'm going to do, since I found her that quick and easy, I'm going to put her in a little queen cage. Allows me to speed up my inspections. Come in behind her. Not very good with my left hand. Let's do it with my right hand. Just come in behind her, pick her up by her wings, pop her in the cage. And she's even got an attendant in there with her. Now, there's the queen. She's nice and safe. I can kind of go through the inspections a little quicker now. And I can also pop her in that bottom box when I get to it. A little bit of brood there. How lucky can you get to find your queen on your second frame in the top box? Mixed brood and nectar. A lot of brood on this side. So she's been up in this box for a little while. Got some drone brood here. I always look to see if I see any varroa mites on the drone brood when I tear it apart. Nothing. Looking good. I'll cut some of this off of here. Just kind of get it out of the way. Cut some more drone brood off the bottom here. She's got a nice little capped brood, eggs and larvae around that. They've got nectar and honey out around that. Capped brood on this side. See pollen coming in. This is looking to be a very healthy hive. What we got going on here? We got a couple queen cells here. I kind of figured this hive was booming enough we might see that. Look at that. 3 beautiful capped queen cells right there. I do plan on grafting off of her. I might even just go ahead and probably take a split. I'll probably just go ahead and take a split real quick here. You know, we got some beautiful queen cells here. I'm going to cut some of these off and out of the way. She's still pretty big. She didn't look like she was quite ready to swarm yet. I think it's cold weather. We had some really cold weather this past week. Mornings in the mid-20s, and I suspect that probably kind of messed up the bees' plans on any swarming or progressing any swarming at that point. Get them back over there. We'll move her over here. Drone brood, a lot of nectar, some eggs. Drone brood. Cut some of that off, get it out of the way. Come on, girls, out of the way here. that kind of upset them a little bit. Got a few of them up here buzzing around me, a few guard bees saying, hey, what are you doing? We don't like that. Got a frame here, it's got some goofy screwed up comb on it. Look at that, see? Don't like that. Another queen cell on this one. Okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna cut some of this crazy comb off of here. Here, let's smoke the bees out of the way. Okay, so we got the bees smoked off of that. That crazy comb's mostly drone, brood. I'll cut that, just get it out of the way. They'll repair that. They'll repair that and start filling the comb the way it's supposed to be. At least we hope. Okay. Some more drone brood here. Okay, food, honey and nectar. Okay. So let's see if we can get these frames. I don't want to slide very good. The rails kind of all need cleaned out like that. Got to get in the bottom box, see what we got going on. Then we're going to make a decision on how we're going to proceed. Both with this queen and those queen cells. I already forgot which frame those were on. Let's take a quick look here, figure out which one it is. Okay, wasn't this one? Wasn't that one? This one here? That one there, so we want to be careful with that frame especially. What I'm going to do is put an X there so I know that that had all the cells on them. See if we can just snug these girls back over. They're getting a little aggravated with me. They're actually doing really good. Figured their entire brood nest just got totally tore apart. Okay. Get this honey frame put in here, then we're going to pull this box off here, take a look, see what we got going on underneath. Yeah, they've got it glued down pretty good here. There we go. That woke them up. Okay, let's take a look through the camera and see if you can see that bottom box there. Oh yeah, good view. Okay. Beautiful booming hive. I got them a little feisty here. We're going to let them settle for just a second. Getting a little feisty here. I'll give them just a little smoke, maybe to help kind of. The smoke actually kind of covers up some of the alarm pheromone. Kind of confuses them a little bit. We'll see if maybe that'll settle them down. I'm real curious what this bottom box looks like. Okay. Food stores, drones. Okay, we're going to set this out front here by the entry. See if we can kind of get through this box fairly quick here. Okay, a lot of nectar and some brood. So, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of open larvae over on this side of the frame over here. There we go. We can get the bees out of the way. See, there's a lot of larvae in there. But there's nectar over on this side of the frame. These girls had, I had neglected them long enough. They were backfilling pretty hard. That's probably why, as much as anything, they're thinking about swarming. It's one of the biggest causes is you wait like this, you wait a little too long, they start backfilling the brood chamber. There's a surplus of food, plenty of bees, no place to lay. Oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful frame of sealed brood. Come on, girls, let's. I know I got your brood nest completely tore apart. And at this point, they're already starting to lose the queen pheromones at a rapid pace with this breeze out here. So they're losing the pheromone that tells them that they still got a queen. They're losing some pheromones because it's blowing off of the brood, you know, all of the larvae. I mean, those are all signals that they need to know what's going on in their hive. Very healthy looking. Cappings look nice. The larvae that you can see are healthy looking. They're just this beautiful snow or pearl white, glistening with a little bit of milk brood of the milk around them. Didn't like the vibration there. Oh, this queen had done a fantastic job. I know you can't really see too much of that, but this frame's even got quite a bit of young larvae in it. She'd been on this frame the last few days just going to town, doing her job. Good bee population, very good bee population. Get them out of the way would help. I'm trying not to squish any of them. That just makes them that much worse on their See how they're following my hands back and forth. I haven't been stung. They're bouncing off of me pretty hard. That's the warning of, hey, go away. Trying to make sure that the all the brood is healthy, the bees are healthy, and there's no obvious queen cells down in here. I'm trying to make my decision exactly what I'm going to do here. Really want to push them down in between the frames too much. Just creates more problems. See them as I move, they're reacting to the movement. As I move my hand across, they kind of come up and bounce off of my hand. Big sheet of brood there. This hive is just exploding with population. I get rid of that excess off there, like I'm always saying. I don't want it hanging off at an angle. It just rolls bees when you're bringing them up. Got a little cup here at the bottom, nothing in it. Snug some of these frames over a little bit here. Okay. See if we can get through these last two frames here. Glued to the wall pretty good. It hasn't been out in many, many months. Outside of this is mostly food. Inside of it is mixed larvae and nectar. Okay, see if we can get this bump back over, get them put back together enough that got to figure out what we're going to do now. not want to slide over all that well. You know that these rails are metal in this one. Just enough propolis. They do not want to slide. Get close. Let the girls settle down a little bit. I don't know if there's enough room there to get this frame back in yet. Let's take a look here. This frame's kind of wide. Let's flip it around here. I can kind of, there we go, I can use it to pry with. Okay, girls, settle down now. We need to pull the strength back on this hive a little bit. I really don't want to break it down real hard yet. So what I'm going to do, we're going to pull 4 frames out of the center of the bottom box. I'm going to drop in some drawn frames, put the original queen back in there. I'm going to pull the queen cells out of this top box and put them in here. So we're going to aggravate these girls one more time. Basically, we're going to give them plenty of room, then I'm going to give them another honey super. Back in here and see if we can. Okay, so we're going to take this frame. Just button it back up. We're going to go right back in here and take some of this back out now. Give them this one. Trying to see what's on these and which ones I want to take. Yeah, I want this one. And we're going to need a food frame. I'm going to take this other outside food frame. This one's got a lot of nectar on it, so I'll give them some fresh food to work with, plus honey, but there's fresh open nectar. It's easy for them to use. Okay. Now, let's get the frame that's got those cells, those queen cells. Now we have some really nice drawn frames here. This will give them a tremendous amount of room. Beautiful drawn wax. It'll give them a tremendous amount of room. It's going to change the smell of the hive. This one needs a small repair. They'll be on that in no time. I'll move that one all the way out. And we got another frame. We're going to snug these back together. Calm back down for a minute, then we'll go ahead and put the queen right back down in that bottom box and put an excluder on it. She has 4 fresh frames that she can lay on now. I'm also going to take the whole hive and I'm going to turn it 90 degrees. Kind of confuse the bees a little bit. The approach is going to be a little bit of a different angle. The smell's going to be different. They suddenly have a lot of room in the brood chamber. Hopefully this will buy us time until the flow really gets going good. That will shift their mindset. So yeah, I was running a little late on this hive this year. This one I should have been in it a couple of weeks ago. I've been working with some of the other hives. I've already been doing my grafting, so I kind of neglected this one. It came out of winter really strong. Early on they were bringing in pollen. The queen was laying real early this year, so I knew that they had a good population. So I pulled 4 frames out of the bottom brood chamber, put 4 drawn frames in there, got the queen down in there, got an excluder on it. She's restricted to that bottom box. Put a new honey super on. I took the frame out of the upper box that had the queen cells, put it with the split, put another frame in that. Got them all stacked up. I turned the whole hive 90 degrees. So they got a new entry. They lost some brood. They lost some nurse bees. They still got the entire field force. So pulled the strength back pretty good on this hive. The nectar flow is just starting. Their mindset's getting ready to change. They're going to go from the swarming instinct into the hoarding instinct, because the nectar flow is getting ready to hit. She's got plenty of room to lay. I've got plenty of room on top. So she will demand that nest size in the center of that bottom box. the house bees have got plenty of room to move that nectar up away from the nest up into the honey supers. This will allow them to store plenty up on top, not create a backfill situation that we were already seeing. Pulled the strength back pretty good, got a nice split off of it. Their mindset's getting ready to change. We prevented this one from swarming. You got to come back in 6 or 7 days. Check that top box that had brood in it. They're going to create queen cells in there. That has been separated from the queen. Those bees don't know any different. They're going to create queen cells. So 6 or 7 days later, come in, cut out all the queen cells. Should be really good to go. I'm going to have to do that, like I said, in 6 or 7 days. Then we're probably pretty good for 2 or 3 weeks. Take a quick peek here and there. They're going to be good now. I just got to make sure I keep plenty of space up on top for them to keep pushing that nectar up, and plenty of floor space for the emerging bees to have. I really appreciate everybody watching. I hope you're enjoying these videos, and I'll see you next time.